Nick Gant and his father, Jonah, are hiding from an agent named Carver. Jonah tells Nick about a vision he received from a woman, saying that one day a girl will give him a flower, and it is Nick's mission to help her. Division agents arrive. Jonah helps his son escape, and Carver kills Jonah. And so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. In 1945, the U.S. government established the Division, a secret agency that tracks and experiments on people with psychic abilities. Each psychic is classified into a group based on their powers. There are watchers who can see the future, movers with telekinetic powers, pushers who can implant ideas and make any lie seem true, as well as sniffers, shifters, shadows, and bleeders. The list is endless. Years later, Division has developed a drug that can enhance the abilities of people born with psychic powers. All test subjects died until a pusher named Kira successfully adapted to the new drug and could increase her powers. While a ball rolls around the lab, Kira wakes up, steals a syringe, and tries to escape the lab. The ball helps Kira avoid the closing door and escape. Carver sends people to find her.
Do whatever is necessary to get her and that syringe back. Now!
We see Nick, now grown, living in Hong Kong, trying to use his powers to win at gambling. Despite his gambling debts, he continues to play but loses as he still doesn't know how to use his powers well. Nick is sought out to be beaten up for his debts. Returning home, he encounters Division Sniffer's agents looking for Kira. They let him go, considering him necessary to find her in the future. Disturbed, Nick grabs a gun and attempts to use his abilities. Cassie Holmes, a moody teenage watcher living hidden in Hong Kong, calls him, saying she's outside. Nick doesn't know who she is, though she claims to be his salvation. Cassie tells him they can get $6 million. They go to eat, and Cassie explains she's a watcher and advises Nick to practice more with his powers since he doesn't use them well. Cassie says the girl Division is searching for will bring $6 million in a briefcase. Nick doesn't want to get involved with Division and walks away. Cassie tries to convince him and then receives a vision about the Triad, a criminal gang in China. Nick uses his powers, and they run as Bleeders use theirs. The Bleeders also have a watcher girl who tells them where to go, enabling them to catch Nick and Cassie. Nick helps Cassie escape. The Watcher has a vision about Kira and leaves Nick alone. Kira, now in Hong Kong, wakes up at a dock. Kira asked a wiper to erase her memory so she wouldn't remember where she hid the briefcase. In the mirror, she sees written 4100 and Nick's name. Cassie finds Nick through her visions. They find a woman who says Kira's mother sent her a week before she was captured. Kira's mother, considered the best watcher ever, directly helped Kira escape. The woman heals Nick with her powers. Later, when Nick wakes up, Cassie gives him a flower, and Nick realizes Cassie is the girl his father told him he must help. Cassie shows Nick that Division agents will capture Kira. Nick realizes Cassie doesn't want to find her for money but for something more. Cassie also shows him that they will die. Agents find Kira and take her, but Kira uses her powers to manipulate one of the agents.
Get the hell out of my hair! No!
The agents take her to the bathroom but keep her monitored. In the bathroom, Kira manipulates the agent, making him believe his partner killed his brother, though he has no brother. The agent kills his partner upon realizing he was manipulated and searches for Kira. Kira tries to flee, but the agent grabs and breaks her bracelet. Kira knocks him out, grabs the gun, and flees in the car. Meanwhile, Nick continues practicing his powers but struggles. Nick sees one of Cassie's drawings and recognizes the place. The agent tells Carver Kira manipulated him, and Carver, who has the same powers as Kira, kills him
Then put the gun in your mouth and pull the trigger.
and distributes the bracelet pieces for the sniffers to track her. Nick and Cassie seek Hook, a shifter who worked in Division and can transform things. He helps them find Kira by providing a bracelet piece and the address of a sniffer named Emily. The sniffer helps them locate Kira since she has a piece of Kira's bracelet.
They've been spreading these all over the city.
Kira manipulates people into believing they are her friends. When Nick and Cassie arrive, Kira tries to kill Nick, revealing that she is his ex-girlfriend.
You know this psycho?
Cassie has a vision where Nick, she, and her mother will die. They go to a man named Pinky, a shadow who can prevent them from being found. Hoping Kira remembers where she hid the briefcase, Nick and Kira stay alone while Cassie goes to get drunk. Cassie meets the other Watcher girl who says she saw Cassie's death and that her family will kill Nick. Cassie returns drunk, angry that Kira will cause their deaths.
You drunk?
Yeah.
Pinky can't block the Watchers, so the Watcher girl finds them. Cassie sees her before she arrives.
She saw me coming.
Kira leaves with Pinky for safety. Cassie can't see the briefcase's location in her visions. Nick wants to change the future and meets Carver at a restaurant, using his powers to levitate guns and aim at Carver's head. Carver says Kira will die without a drug he has to cure her, and Carver's partner Victor, also a mover like Nick, fights him. Nick and Victor use their powers to move the gun, but both run out of bullets. Victor grabs and levitates Nick. Carver meets Cassie but doesn't hurt her to avoid altering his death's future. He calls Victor to leave Nick alone until they find the briefcase. They go where Kira is hiding. Kira tells Nick the drug in the briefcase enhances their abilities. Cassie has a vision about Kira's shoes, finding a key. Kira faints and they go to Emily to sniff the key. As the other Watcher is better than Cassie and sees every move they make, Nick proposes a plan to confuse the Watcher.
If nothing we did made sense.
Emily says the key's lock is blocked but points to its direction, so Cassie tries to see it with her abilities, realizing the briefcase is in a building. Nick's plan to avoid being discovered is not knowing what to do until the moment of action.
Fucking strategy, alright?
He creates several notes with instructions for each of his friends and himself. Cassie starts drawing the briefcase and syringe's size, and Emily notices the key has 4,100 on it. The other Watcher realizes Division seeks the drug to make them more powerful and tells her father. Kira weakens, and Nick gives her his envelope, sending her in a taxi with the shadow so that Carver can give her the medicine. He distributes the envelopes and they separate. Pinky opens his envelope, giving Nick the money he was paid for Kira to hire the Wiper to erase his memory and not remember what he wrote in the notes. He gives a note to the guy.
When you're done, I need you to open this and read it.
Emily and Cassie open their envelopes. The guy erases Nick's memory, so the Watcher can't track him. Meanwhile, Hook goes to the building where the briefcase is, opens the locker with the key, and finds the briefcase, making a duplicate. Cassie takes the briefcase and follows her envelope's instructions. Nick wakes up with no memory, opens his envelope telling him to go home. At home, he finds the healer now working for the Chinese. She takes the briefcase and gives it to the Chinese. Cassie leaves guns for Nick, and he uses them against the healer. The Chinese realize the briefcase is fake. Cassie calls the Watcher, who knew the briefcase was fake and knows where the real drug is. Nick ties up the healer and leaves with Cassie. Carver gives Kira a drug to restore her health, then manipulates her into believing she was always a Division agent.
Now let me help you remember.
Cassie fears her imminent death, but Nick tries to comfort her, advising her to walk without thinking about what will happen. They separate. The other Watcher tracks Cassie, finds her, and points a gun at her, but the Wiper erases her memory as instructed by the envelope. Nick makes a deal with Carver to exchange the drug for Kira. Completely manipulated, Kira tells Nick they never met and that she only made him believe so.
I used you, Nick.
Hook calls Nick, following his note, and tells Carver where to find the drug. Nick and Kira are taken to the building, where Nick is beaten and locked in the car. Carver searches for the briefcase in the locker. The Chinese arrive seeking the briefcase. Victor creates a distraction and fights the Chinese for Carver and Kira to escape. During the fight, the trunk opens, allowing Nick to escape. He grabs 2 guns and goes to find Kira. Kira is surrounded but manipulates everyone. Victor grabs and throws Nick, trying to kill him. Nick fights Victor while avoiding Chinese attacks, exchanging telekinetic blows. A bleeder arrives, but Victor kills him before dying. The bleeder's father, enraged, tries to kill Nick, who collapses the bamboo structure on him. Carver is fascinated by Kira's abilities. Nick arrives to tell Kira that Carver controls her. Carver controls Nick to jump off the building, but Nick hits him, grabs the drug, and injects himself to see if Kira regains her senses. Unable to withstand the drug, Nick dies,
What a waste.
though he didn't actually die because it wasn't the real drug. Unknowingly, due to his memory erasure, Hook had switched the briefcase. Cassie gives Nick the real drug.
What was it that I injected myself with?
9 Dragon soy sauce.
When Kira and Carver are on a private plane back to the US, Kira finds the envelope Nick gave her. Inside is a photo of her and Nick together that says, "Kill him. See you soon." Kira breaks free from Carver's manipulation and uses her powers to make Carver shoot himself. And that's how the movie ends.
Put your gun in your mouth. Pull the trigger.